We're going to begin this hour with a landmark vote today in the Senate on access to in vitro fertilization. The legislation would protect the treatment nationwide at a time, as you know, it's come under fire from conservative groups. That includes Southern Baptists, who just made their own decision on IVF. It's a divisive issue, to be sure, among its members. Lilia Luciano was at the Southern Baptist Convention.
Senators are poised for a historic vote today on a Democratic-led package that would protect in vitro fertilization as a nationwide right.
I had my daughters through IVF, and I think that anybody that wants to start a family should have the ability to start a family.
Senator Tammy Duckworth co-sponsored the bill.
So it doesn't force anybody to access reproductive technology. It just says if you want to do that, you can offer it, you can seek it, you can cover it.
Republicans also voiced their support for IVF in a different bill.
To the best of my knowledge, all 100 senators in this body support IVF. This should be a measure that transcends political divides.
CBS News polling reflects that sentiment, with an overwhelming majority of Americans saying IVF should be legal across party lines. But earlier this year, the Alabama Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos are human beings and have the same rights as living persons. In response, the state then passed a law shielding IVF providers that discard embryos from prosecution and lawsuits.
The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted.
Today's Senate vote comes just a day after the Southern Baptist Convention, the nation's largest group of Protestant Christians, passed a resolution opposing IVF.
We need to be very clear that human life begins at conception.
The resolution states the IVF process most often engages in the destruction of embryonic human life and encouraged its congregation of nearly 13 million to seek adoption and consider the ethical implications of IVF.
Just dealing with our infertility, it leaves a wound.
Southern Baptists Meredith and Zachary Sahadek already have one child through IVF. Another is on the way, also through the procedure.
I am for the sanctity of life and for the sanctity of embryos. I am against the idea that this technology is so wicked that it cannot be employed.
At the church's annual meeting Wednesday, Zachary got emotional speaking about his own experience.
And I have 10 embryos that I love, and with every bit of my being, we will have or see born into a Christian family.
The Sahadeks plan to use their remaining embryos for their own family or put the frozen embryos up for adoption.
When the resolution is adopted, what do you fear that means, or what are you concerned?
Really confident that we made a decision, sought prayer, sought wise counsel. So I'm not too scared.
And the Roman Catholic Church, which is the largest of any religious group in the country, is also against IVF. But as the action shows on the Hill, this very personal decision is going to continue being a major part of the political conversation.
It is such a personal decision, but for some families, that's the only way they can have
the only option, right?
For so many, people are delaying having children for many reasons.
Exactly.
And now many people are resorting to IVF for that.
The politics of this are so fascinating because organizations and groups and leaders who are so pro-family are not necessarily pro-this, which is the way that many people are able to have a family.
Yeah.
It could be, I think, the reason Democrats in the Senate are pushing it is because it can divide some members of the Republican Party, particularly Republican voters.
Perhaps. And what this couple told me is, look, I think there's a lot of misinformation. I don't think people understand the process or the possibility of donating a frozen embryo to another family.
Yeah, we know we don't want this politicized, that's for sure.
Oh, we're there. We're there.
But it happens.
Yeah. Lilia, thank you very much.